All right, folks, welcome. We've got round of 32, King of the Desert 6, a $50,000 tournament, Arabia only. TaToH had a really fun set to watch in the first round, and a couple days after that, we are already in his next round, round of 32, up against the Chinese player known as mainly iBuyPower, but really, I think should be known as Bravebear. But he labeled himself as iBuyPower for a long time. I don't really know why. Maybe he had a sponsorship or something, and he had that for many years, and so that's all people really know him as, but he is also titled at the bottom right as Bravebear. So, he's in the north. Now, I'm going to start with Bravebear or iBuyPower, because you might not know a lot about him. Really solid player who isn't as extremely active as some of the others. Takes some breaks here or there, comes back and is super smooth. There's no, weirdness to his play. There's no real distinct thing I can say beyond being really solid. So it's not like he is off meta or anything. Really good balance of macro and micro. And as he tries to get this deer from the back of his base, TaToH might underrate him a little bit. I think viewers are certainly going to underrate him because you guys might not remember watching this guy. Last time I covered him was in Titans League Season 4, trying to qualify for gold. And he lost in a best of 5 3-2, and I believe it was against Licks or something. Maybe someone can look that up. But I just remember being like, holy crap, he's playing really good. I think he beat a big name as well in that on the road there. So definitely someone who's solid. I don't know exactly what level he's going to bring. He did some training with Yo the other day. I was able to catch a glimpse of them in a private lobby. So I know they've been working on some stuff. And he's the Byzantines, and then we've got TaToH down here. TaToH needs less of an introduction just because he's so good. TaToH would be the favorite, but TaToH on Arabia only, I'm not sure in 2025 if I would say that he would be one of the favorites for the top 4. I think on mixed maps, he's always in that conversation, but we'll see. I think TaToH, maybe someone can remind me who the winner of this series would face. Because I think it might be the winner faces Sebastian. I forget. But he's gone for the Celts here. I really like the Civ pick. I was actually thinking with my coffee this morning, man, why have we not seen Celts picked more frequently? It's not the best generation for Celts because it's not as aggressive as some others, but so many of these games end in Castle Age. I think it's a really good Civ to pressure early. Yeah, winner against Sebastian. So I would say Sebastian's the favorite against whoever wins here, but I'd only seen TaToH play that series against Gabby. So my feelings on TaToH will probably change a little bit based on what could happen here. There is the barracks for him. Map looks pretty decent. And Bravebear's coming back to try and push in the same deer as last time, which trolled him last time because the change they made, the animals will hug the edge of the map and the wood line sometimes. Okay, see there, I don't know what he did differently, but it came off the edge of the wood line. And then should be able to get this. And he's expecting infantry. He's expecting something. He's going 18 pop with no eco bonuses here to go fast feudal into some archers against the potential man-at-arms. So no scouting. Just getting that food income rolling. Probably does need to scout at some point. Feels like he's got enough food now. Everything's looking pretty set up in his eco. TaToH over here. TaToH's sending 4 villagers. He wants to go forward. This is a forward, guys. You don't send 4 villagers forward like this for any other reason. He wants to go forward range, maybe a tower, but he doesn't know his destination yet. Look at these buried, dude. Oh my god, against Celts? I just saw this. That is horrible. And actually, it's really unfortunate for TaToH. He hasn't scouted them. But yeah, TaToH's going to find he's going to find a real target if he goes this way. Denying the berries is one of the best things you can do with the tower rush, because berries becomes really important. But yeah, TaToH will probably just walk by this in a moment. There's the archery range from iBuyPower. So for now, he's got enough food underneath the TC, but eventually you have to move out and take the berries. That is off. That is really bad. And TaToH didn't even know about this until now, but now he's just going to wall it up. That's actually so smart. Because your opponent doesn't know about that. He is Byzantine, so he might catch a glimpse of this villager walking on by. I think he saw that, and I think he also knows there's going to be man-at-arms. So he's trying to wall this up. But he's going to try and go out here for a mill at some point, and it's not going to be possible for him to do that. Will he spot the villagers there? Is my question. Okay, so at least now he knows. But good luck taking the food there. For TaToH, it was only 2 militia. It was not 3, and it was not no follow-up man-at-arms upgrade. And maybe because of that, iBuyPower is able to fight this back. There is an archer range for TaToH here, too. What do you do here? iBuyPower is under a lot of pressure early against the favorite. He gets housed here. And he's just trying to take down the palisade walls just so he can take his berries. Again, there's only 2 militia in there. It's not man-at-arms. So maybe with some proper micro, this could be okay for iBuyPower. He hasn't lost a villager yet. He's killed a militia already. TaToH can't bring in more villagers easily because TaToH's base is far away here. The scout being weak for iBuyPower does hurt. And that scout being weak means he can't really fight like TaToH can in a second. I mean, ultimately, I think this is really good for TaToH because it's just idle time for iBuyPower, but he does lose a villager. But I'm curious on the food situation for TaToH. Like, he's got berries. He's got farms. iBuyPower has to place a mill here now just so he can build farms. And he really resisted doing that for a while. But yeah, his idle TC time is climbing massively. And so he's going to be down in vills just because he can't produce any right now. Kind of a surprising opening from TaToH. Like, this is... maybe it shouldn't be surprising because this tournament's advertised as being aggressive. But, like, you don't normally see the favorite go forward like this. Might be part of iBuyPower's style being so meta and clean that he doesn't want to allow that. This is already paid for itself for TaToH. I know he hasn't killed a villager. iBuyPower's done a good job there. But the berries being denied like this is crazy. 2 villagers down. About to be 3 villagers down for iBuyPower. But TaToH's housed. So TaToH's also going to have some idle time. I just wonder at what point do you give up on this? Like, if you're going to be here, maybe build a tower? His micro has actually been insane. Look at all the weak villagers on the farms there. 2 minutes of TC idle time is really brutal. And he also loses the villager here, too. So, honestly, perfect start for TaToH. Except for maybe fixing his own economy at home, getting double bid-axe. On a rush like this, skipping eco upgrades is fine. Especially with Celts, I think when you already have the more efficient wood chopping, it's fine. And yeah, you're just never going to get these berries. And, oh, also a sneaky tower from TaToH back here. I think that was the outpost villager. iBuyPower noticed that, counter-towered it. We'll shoot that down. But I'm still not awake yet myself, so I wasn't really paying attention to that. Will TaToH get upgrades? I see the blacksmith now. So fletching would be the next way to play this. And neither player can build a tower now, because TaToH built one in the back. It feels like TaToH's just been... He's got such a nice position. He can make it to Castle Age so much faster. iBuyPower housed again. Oh, God. Dude, this is 3 minutes of idle TC. It's frustrating. When you... Oftentimes, to shake off the nerves, you want the first game to be really chill and really relaxed. And then when this happens to you, the nerves just escalate because you haven't been able to relax, and then you've just been under constant pressure. I'm just seeing... I've seen this guy play before, and the pressure that TaToH has sent in against him here has completely undone him so far in game number 1. Yeah, now the villagers are starting to go down. And TaToH has fletching, so in the ranged unit battle, where he already has more units, he's got the lead. Eco balance is extremely bad for red. Freaking chat trolling me. Says, why is T90 calling Bravebear I buy power? All right, stop trolling me, okay? I tried to call him Bravebear, and then everyone said, who is this? And then Liquipedia still calls him I buy power, all right? Don't troll me because I explained the context behind this guy, all right? I'm assuming you're trolling me. Now, TaToH could build another tower soon. Maybe a tower here would make sense, just to deny a couple more farms. Just to protect the stone. I've decided that I will no longer give people unnecessary information, okay? All stories, all side tangents, all blasts from the past, all that stuff's canceled. Here we have skirmishers attacking farms. Look, the farmer's not farming. Villagers are building a house. Villagers are building a tower. Skirmisher dies. Armies running by the gold. Villagers in a tower. 2 villagers standing underneath the tower. Are you enjoying this? Look, another tower. Is this fun? Is this good? Okay. So much better. Okay, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I'm not going to do that anymore. But I've kind of... Honestly, the game is so much of a stomp, I've run out of some things to say, so had to deviate towards jokes. Because TaToH is way ahead here. We do have some woo-woo-woo here. So that's the first bit of luck here for Red. Wolf is going crazy right now. Look how much damage he's dealt. He dealt like 30 damage. Alright, well, kills off the archers there. And TaToH will have mainly skirmishers now. And I buy power can always come home, as the wolf is still going to town. Wait, did the wolf just kill one of I buy power's units? I think it did. So I said he got lucky. Oh my. I said he got lucky and then he gets woo-woo-wooed. That's funny, dude. Oh, man. It was all... TaToH knew that was over there. And TaToH was just luring him over there. That was all part of TaToH's plan. He knew he was going to lose his army. So TaToH has to be careful here. He's losing a lot of army. Here, he's just attacking the farms. But I think he has to be careful. Ultimately, he wants to go to Castle Age. At home, he's building a tower. He was expecting those skirms to maybe counterattack. Which explains why he built the tower and also why he lost the skirmishers here. But he's going to be on the way up. Now, TaToH isn't mining stone from home. So that's important to note. So if he's just going to stay garrisoned here, won't be an easy time for him to get enough stone for an XTC. I'd love to see knights here when he makes it to Castle Age. But I'm not sure he's going to have the front position because now Red's going to rush this down. I mean, he wants to get rid of TaToH's position here. Get any type of damage on TaToH's eco he can. The counterattack's not really doable. If you want the forward siege push, you need this forward position for TaToH. He's going to lose that position potentially. Tower goes down. Villagers have to run. And some of those villagers are weak. Somewhere TaToH's making some scouts. So there's a scout from the stable there. And TaToH's on the move now. But yeah, if you have a really bad feudal age, guys, you end up having a really late Castle Age. And that is what we're seeing here for Bravebear. This is painful. We're 24 minutes into the game. He hasn't clicked up yet. Another wolf. Hungry. Oh, TaToH with the houses, though. Oh, that's sick. Wolf is still ready to feast, though. Feels like TaToH should lose a villager here, especially because he clicked a tree. Villagers get stuck now. And scouts and skirms are going to try and deny any walls here. Red on the other side. I feel like these will be 2 villagers down for TaToH. Knights will be out for TaToH, though. He can't make the siege on the front. There he loses 1. There he loses 2. So to be expected. This guy might survive. I mean, if he can get this villager as well, he'd be feeling pretty good. The wolf's going to go down eventually. And TaToH's made it through with some scouts. TaToH also killed a villager here. Tower being forced down by Power, who still cannot click up to Castle Age. And as I say that, he does, but still, massive timing difference here. I still actually think it's, while it's really bad, it could be way worse. Like, TaToH, okay, TaToH is building the second TC, so never mind. I was going to say TaToH will only be on one TC. That's not the case at all. And TaToH will only have 3 skirms. That much is true. But I don't think TaToH needs to really do a lot more damage to Red to get a big lead here. He's just going to boom it out. Yeah, the elo for Red is at the bottom. So he's 24-38. Actually, his in-game score is 24-38. It was when I said that. And TaToH's just passed his own elo with in-game score as well. That's interesting. Hold on a second. This is weird. I don't never pay attention to this. Let me just go back for a second. Sorry, but the game's not close. Look at this. So their in-game score is pretty much their elo at this moment. I mean, TaToH's a little bit ahead of his elo. But look at that. That's super weird. I got to look for that in other games now. That's crazy. But yeah, this does not feel like a 2K4 performance from Red. Just because he got... I think he was nervous, and then he had a horrible situation on his hands to get his berries back. So he can play better than this, but it's like... If he was already having potential confidence issues, after this, man, it's going to be tough. But it was just one of the worst starts you could have possibly had to a game. And the crazy thing is, TaToH didn't even know the berries were there. Like, TaToH was going to go forward in tower, sure. But, like, him walling up the berries was not part of his plan because he didn't have it scouted. So, yeah, we're back up to live time. And feels like TaToH's just gained such a significant lead now. 3 town centers, perfect eco upgrades. He is coming forward for the Siege Workshop now. This doesn't have to end the game, though. This can just apply some pressure. The Byzantines love to go for skirms themselves. So that's what Red's going to do. But there's going to be the siege from TaToH right behind this then. So then you're going to need something else. Second TC's on the way up in the north. 4th TC going up down for TaToH. And he's also bringing in 3 relics back to his monastery. Actually, no, it is 2. But I'm sure it will be 3. Yeah, Byzantine late game is really good in this matchup. It's good in most matchups. But is it good enough to be this far behind right now? I'm not so sure. Already 5,000 resources collected behind. Just feels like the stage of the game, TaToH's just so far ahead. But yeah, TaToH created some chaos, and now he benefits. And now this gets even tougher for Red, because now he can actually be pushed. Has to respect the KotD siege. You want to hear something funny, guys? So Huang returned to the game recently. And naturally, Huang returns to the game. He thinks, what's the most annoying, overpowered thing that I can do to spam on people all day, right? And he's going for the church rush shenanigans. Because that's pretty wild right now. So Huang is like church rushing people. And on his return. And I'm watching his games, right? And he doesn't have a mic or anything. And Huang's English isn't the best, but you know, he does chat to his viewers. And one of his messages said, in the chat said, how do you even stop this when he church rushed someone? And Huang just responds, all caps, Celts. It's so funny. It was like 1 a.m. I should have been sleeping. I was dying laughing. I was like, of course he says Celts. It was so good. But like nobody else would pick Celts. Like it's just Huang. He's so funny, dude. 30 villager lead for TaToH now. Yeah, he'll add more stables. He'll start to make more army. There's not a lot that TaToH can't consider right now. The position is that strong. The Red's position, you want to work out your emotions in this game right now. You don't want to like still be thinking about everything that went wrong and still have all the emotions tied to this game when you're in the Dark Age for the next one or setting up the lobby. So if I have a rough game, I play on longer just to get it out of my system. I mean, sometimes you play on longer because you're tilted. You know, that's maybe a little bit different, but I would say... I mean, TaToH hasn't killed him yet. There hasn't actually been a GG move, even though it's probably GG. TaToH would really have to wipe his whole army or dive with the knights, and then it's like, okay, you're probably dead. It's 3 TCs. I mean, this is the state of the game you would have wanted to be in when TaToH was also 3 TCs, but that's not been the case, and TaToH's got +2 armor on the knights. This is not even pikemen. TaToH will destroy this fight. Probably won't even lose a unit. And okay, loses 1 unit. It doesn't really feel the need to micro there. It's not necessary for him, and yeah, he'll clear up all the skirms. But in the back of Red's mind, he's like, if I can get to cataphracts, that's really good against Celts. That much is true. Cheaper Imperial Age as well, so he's building a castle on the front. So he's 3 TCs. He's got a couple monks. He wants to go katas. And he can take his berries again. That's exciting. Get a little bit of fruit in the diet. And the TC over here is going to be pressured, which is going to be a concern. But he might go for redemption. Maybe with redemption monks you can convert the siege. TaToH's coming forward now. TaToH wants to build a castle, though. I mean, TaToH realistically could just castle right here on this hill. And then when you're in Imperial Age, you can treb that castle there. But he wants the more aggressive castle. A castle that I don't think Bravebear can allow. You have to deny this, but you can't really. You don't have the army for it. He's going to get a relic over here from TaToH. Cataphracts will go for that monk. Monk will go down for TaToH, but castle's on the way up. That will pressure that town center. That town center will definitely go down. I think TaToH should just continue on knights. Just make more stable. Just play Celt Paladin at this point. It's not like this state of the game is bad for you, and it's not like your opponent can switch to Halb, right? So, I mean, of course, you could go like pikemen, I guess. But you're not... Red's not going to be an imp. Red's not going to be on Halb, so... Even though the knights lack bloodline, still a really strong option here. And cataphracts again, try and counterattack. Just like he did with the spears and the skirms, but he's just so far behind right now. Morwen, thank you. Welcome. Thanks for the 4 months. Alscar, thanks for the 5 months. Ashley Girl, welcome back. Panda Father, Snacky Matt, welcome back with the resubs, guys. 3 back-to-back sets today. This is the first one. This has been a stomp of a game so far. I would have predicted 3-0 for this. I buy Power won 3-1 against Valis, who is definitely a player who is favored in that set. Despite not being known as an Arabia player, Valis is really good. So I didn't actually see the games. But when I saw it, I was like, good for I buy Power, because I don't think people realize how good he is. People are not going to realize how good he is if he has 4 minutes of idle TC time in Dark Age. But a lot of that was just because of TaToH's pressure, so... And TaToH sees the entire map. Random siege pushback here is kind of funny. He's got 4 of the 5 relics. He'll build a castle at home. He's got trebuchets here. And I buy Power is going to go imp. So he's still fighting. So we might actually see TaToH on Paladin. I mean, 3 minutes away from imp still. Still telling himself that his Civ is better long term. If TaToH starts to treb that TC, though, he's not making it to imp. TaToH's just going for the tower first. You might also consider the castle. I think TaToH's just having a nice warm-up game at this point. He did make a couple woads, but yeah, there's Paladin, guys. There's Paladin. I don't agree that TaToH's like toying with his opponent. I mean, he's he's taking his time. He's taking no risks. But, like, the forward castle and Trebs, this alone is enough to have maybe made Red consider tapping out. Yeah, that is the Imp TC. TaToH doesn't have his army here to protect his Trebs, though. The camels are on the way for Eye by Power. He'll snipe one Treb. Might be able to snipe the next Treb, so maybe he can keep his Imp TC alive. He has to. Cataphracts are dying to the castle and to the Woads. But there's enough Cataphracts in there, I think, to take the Trebs. So, yeah. He takes down the Trebs. That's a little sloppy from TaToH. TaToH is just waiting for Paladin now. I think TaToH could just storm his base with Paladins. If I get beat by Kelt Paladins game number 1, I'm just like, yikes, dude. It's gonna be crazy to watch this from Red's perspective. He's like, I've held. Not bad. TaToH's dropping a little tower over here. Meanwhile, we got Fura Celtica for TaToH. Had he researched that before, his Trebs might not have died. TaToH microing and taking down the monk. That's some nerdy micro right there. All right. Red's like, am I fine? Are we doing this? Are we doing this? And now he sees Paladin. Big army of Paladins running right into his base. Oh my god, dude. 40 Paladins, fully upgraded. Running in before the camel upgrade, too. Yeah, good luck. Even the heavy camel upgrade wouldn't save him here. That is way too many Paladins. And way too many upgrades on the Paladins. Trebuchets from both sides. Paladin's going to raid over here as well. And yeah, TaToH reminding us what he's capable of. And Bravebear quickly reminded as well. He'll take the fight with heavy camel. That'll be a decent enough engagement, but there's just too many Paladins around. TaToH's just going to smash him. GG. Again, I think the story of this game was just the start. The start was brutal. It is a really bad map as far as the berries are concerned. Like, this is the worst possible map maybe to get forwarded on. The only thing that could have been worse is if all your woodlines was on the front. But, like, this being there and TaToH coming forward and walling it was crazy. Because normally, off an archer build, you have limited food underneath the TC. You then time the movement to the berries, but he couldn't do it because it was walled up. Now, should he have maybe towered the berries if he wanted them that badly? Yeah, maybe. Could he have timed a mill over here and some farms a little bit faster? Yes, maybe. But the builds are really tight. He went 18 pop. That's not easy to do. And it was just all chaos from TaToH and Feudal Age that opened up the victory for him. So, I wouldn't expect that to happen again. But yeah, it's exactly what TaToH would have wanted there. Game number 1. GG. And collected 20k more res. And had the better KD. Just a stomp. Game 2. I would expect a better performance here from Red. He just got forwarded last time. Berries are in a much better position. Gold is forward, but he's got a back gold too. Lots of wood lines to choose from. In fact, there's 4. So this is definitely a more wallable generation. Georgians is the number 1 pick for Bravebear. So he's going to be capable to open strong here. And then we got Romans for TaToH. A civ that TaToH performs really well with. I've seen him play with this civ multiple times. So 5% greater efficiency for the Romans and everything they do. But they don't have mule carts. And mule carts inherently add to efficiency. And the Georgians mule cart is also free. I don't know where it is right now. Oh, it's just sitting on the woodline already. But yeah, that being free means you can go up pretty quickly because you could have basically everything on Feudal Age on food if you want. Eventually, you do send something to wood, but you can delay that significantly. Marquis says, when are you going to give your great-grandma me a hug, Tristan? I wish I could give my great-grandma a hug, but my great-grandma is no longer with us. I didn't mean to make that sad. But if you were going to act like you're one of my relatives, you maybe shouldn't have gone that far, dude. It's all good, though. My great-grandma, we called Nanal. She was she was a wild child. Actually, I never told my viewers this. So she must have passed when I was like 8 or 9 or something, right? And she lived till she was 99. And up into her final months, she still would play the organ at her local church, which is badass, if you ask me. Now, I don't know how well she played it. I feel like she was that old. She probably wasn't hitting the notes as accurately as she used to, but she had been at it for like 50 years. So they were like, they wouldn't kick her out, you know? But she, I heard this story from my mother a couple years ago. So they didn't tell me this. She apparently would like, so she was single for like the last 40 years of her life. She apparently would like hit on people constantly in public. Like my mom would like take her out to lunch and she would be flirting with like waiters that were like 30, 40 years younger than her. And like apparently at church, like the husband would like drive up to pick up the family at the curb in the car. So like the family's not there yet. And she would walk up to him and be like, "Hey, are you taking me home?" Like, yeah, that was my great grandma. So I do remember a couple stories I definitely cannot tell you guys. It's like generational things, you know, like things that we're like, "Hey, don't say that." And she's like, "Don't tell me what to say. You're a child to me." You know, I'm not going to tell that on a Twitch stream. But yeah, thanks for bringing her up. I haven't thought about her in a long time. TaToH's going to be up 18 pops. So really fast. This is not for infantry or anything. But this would be likely for scouts and spears. And it's going to be the same builds for Bravebear here. Usually, I would expect a 19 pop from the Romans. This is a little quick, but it should be manageable for TaToH. I think you're just quite at that limit. Might not be able to get horse collar off this build. In fact, I'd be surprised if he does get horse collar off this build. I think you just skip that. Maybe the barracks is ever so slightly delayed, but this is maybe doable. So, hi Tristan, Grandpa here. Don't talk smack about Grandma. I'm pretty sure Grandpa would agree with all the things that I've said, so I don't think there'd be any issues there. But nah, so man, I have never told my grandpa was like super smart. So this was my great grandmother's son-in-law, I guess. He was super smart, but he did not relate well to children. And so he was trying to explain like basic chemistry aspects to me when I was like 8 or like 6 or something. I was so little, I just like playing with my Legos. And he'd be like, "Oh, do you know how this was invented? Blah, blah, blah." And he would just like start, and he would never stop talking. Like he would constantly just keep, and I just like, That's how I learned at a young age how to just nod your head and act like you know what someone's saying. That was my grandpa. And guess what? Then when I was in high school, I failed chemistry. So I got like an early chemistry lesson when I was 6, 7, 8, however young I was. And then in high school, clearly didn't learn a damn thing because I had to retake chemistry. So thanks, Grandpa. Scouts on the way. TaToH will see the stable here. And TaToH's got the stable up here too. Curious on how many scouts TaToH can make here because he's going to get horse color now. It's not the craziest thing. I don't want to imply that 18 pop is like this revolutionary build. But it's not with Mongols. It's not with Civ that's necessarily known for it. Feels to me it's right on that edge that he can make this work. The horse collar did not come in for Bravebear on the other side. Now that's not a bad thing because he might want to switch to cav archers later. You don't need that many farmers long term. But yeah, farms are going to come out. For TaToH, a little bit of TC idle time from him here or there, but he's got a spearman, he's got his wood line walled up, and he's got scouts moving forward now. Parity males is a good thing that high school and chemistry are worthless anyhow. I don't know about worthless. I feel like if you completely flunk out of high school, that could definitely have an effect on your life. Fortunately, I was able to graduate high school. There might be some chemists out there who say, "Hey, don't make fun of my fields." I would say worthless is a little bit much, but yeah, there are definitely certain things that don't necessarily apply to real life. You know what's worthless that they taught us in school? Cursive writing. I remember when we were young, there was a cursive class during the day. It's like, you're going to need cursive later on in life so you can be a proper professional. And I mean, now that I live life on the internet with technology, I'm like, you guys were pretty far off base. Villager gets sniped there from TaToH. Well played. I mean, that was before people realized how important computers were going to be, I guess. Is there anybody else that if you ever have to do anything handwritten, like if you had to write a note or someone to something on a because you couldn't text them for whatever reason. Hold on, we actually have a game here. We actually have villagers dying here. Nice snipe there. That should be 2 villager snipes for Bravebear. Really clean snipes. But is there anyone else whose like hands hurt if they are I gotta stop telling stories. If they write with a pen or a pencil, mine does, dude. That's a really bad sign. I could play AoE all day. I could use the computer all day. My hands are not made to write, apparently. 2-2 on the Eco KD here. Okay, so you guys were late. Good to know. Bravebear's on the back for that gold. So the main gold being out here is not too much of an issue. TaToH's gold's on the back. That's good. I'm a little surprised to see this from TaToH. He's going to go for an early tower, but TaToH has loved his early towers so far in King of the Desert. I mean, is he really protecting much now? He only has 1 villagers on the berries. Now he'll wall this way. My thinking was long-term for food, TaToH won't need the front. But I guess this will be farming space, right? And TaToH knew there were going to be archers, so I think that's why there's the tower. But a lot of players, they're going to get by without that. I think in TaToH's mind, maybe if this was a quarterfinal, semifinal, something more intense against a player who's also his level, that would be something he would be more, I guess, stubborn with. But it feels like no problem for him, I guess. He drops the market. There goes Bravebear wanting that revenge. He runs through with the scouts. TaToH will see it. And TaToH will get a quick wall here. But that villager building the market has archers on the other side. So TaToH's potentially going to lose this villager. Unless he runs now, though. That was really well played from TaToH. Nice timing on it. Scouts were just leaving, too. So it could have been worse. And now Bravebear's scouts are kind of trapped. He runs past the TC. He runs into the TC fire. He runs into the spearman. And almost loses everything there. Remember, TaToH's farms have horsepower, so they'll last him a long time. Plus, he has the market to buy and sell res. And now those scouts are going to run over, and Red's got a wall up here. Early archer switch didn't really accomplish much. I think what his thinking was is that TaToH would play heavy spearmen with armor as the Romans. But that's not really how TaToH played this. He did make a couple spears, but nothing too crazy. Mishra, thanks for the 43 months. Thanks so much. Because of you, I don't need to use cursive writing frequently. And I don't need to know chemistry. That's important. Thank you. Actually, that's not true. Chemistry is a really valuable upgrade. I do need to know chemistry, but I already know that chemistry. It's like heated shot, right? It's basically the same thing. When you wall this far away from your eco, it can sometimes be really hard to wall behind. So that's something to keep in mind right there. If TaToH attacked that, TaToH doesn't know, but Vills are really far away from there. TaToH's getting wheelbarrow right now, and then he'll be on the way to Castle Age. TaToH's economy is looking pretty clean. The only thing that TaToH's missing right now is stone after building that tower, which I maintain he never needed. I think he's going to try and mine stone. It just feels kind of odd. Kind of risky, but we'll see if TaToH knows about this army. This army is coming this direction. There's 4 spearmen, 2 archers there. I think once TaToH gets upgrades, he could potentially engage on this. And I think Bravebear just knows he's been spotted. So he might wait for a bit more army to follow up. Yeah, he seems concerned. I think he doesn't want to lose this army because he thinks TaToH is patrolling around on this hill. TaToH's actually here, though. Which you will see now. I would expect just town centers from TaToH. Oftentimes, the Georgians are going to want to play into knights or cav archers. So once you determine which they're going to do, you can play usually into scorpions against the cav archers with your own knights. Or if you're up against knights, you can just, well, make your own knights. Or you can go for pikemen or some monks. Dude, Prince Coconuts, the whole chemistry heated shot situation is confusing, man. I made the video most confusing AoE 2 text. It still stands. Like, heated shot is super freaking confusing. And the way chemistry works is really confusing. But there's a lot of... There's certain aspects about the game that are confusing, and it's... I'm not saying it should change. I think it just is what it is at this point, right? Like, the ballistics icon makes no freaking sense. Like, ballistics! It has a cannon on it. It doesn't affect cannons. It's crazy. Like... But we're too far gone now. 25 years. Not something that's going to be tweaked or changed. So TaToH drops town center number 2. He's getting husbandry and getting light cav now. And this is nice. Look at the positioning from red. Crams the spearmen there into the opening and then puts the archers there. That's awkward for TaToH to engage. But once he gets a scorpion, the scorpion's a perfect answer to that. And TaToH doesn't need to take that wood line right now. He's got this wood line. This is more like it, right? This is more along the lines of what red can do. Game 1 was a really bad example. I'm still not a big fan of how the flow of the game's going for him. To get crossbowmen on only 8 units doesn't really look good to me. I would have preferred to see bowsaw instead. Does have the worker efficiency boost with the church here. The Scorpion's out, and it is cheap, but losing the Scorpion would be a little sloppy here for TaToH, and he does. Also loses a villager there, and loses his leftover spears. I think TaToH just patrolled there and just wasn't able to keep track. And TaToH still has not been able to break through, and his light cav are slowly losing HP on the outside here. Thing about scorpions is just one scorpion doesn't have a big effect. Once you get to like 4 or 5, then it can become really strong. But you need to keep the mass of them. As I say that, TaToH has another scorpion exposed here. What's going on? TaToH's going to lose another one. He was over here, guys. The stone was exposed. He lost a monk. He lost a villager. And he's... Oh, he saved the scorpion. Sorry. But just not... It got a little risky there for TaToH, but now it's looking fine. The Scorpions get their kills. And TaToH will now expand to the wood line on the other side for the 3rd TC. He knows he's against cav archers. The light cav... Oh, God, they're so fast right now. I don't think husbandry's in for the cav archers. And there definitely is husbandry in here for TaToH. And TaToH says, hello. Massive speed difference. He kills 2 CA. That's value right there. And that just means red needs to wait a little bit longer before pushing out. Because 8 cav archers is never going to be enough there. Nice value here from red, though. He snipes the scorpion. You're losing crossbows, but that's fine. Because the crossbows are pretty much a forgotten unit now anyways. Are there any scorpions watching? Because it must not be fun to watch this, man. TaToH's lost so many. Look away, all the young scorpions out there. Isn't that like a sign, like a Scorpio? Isn't that a... What's that? What's it called? Astrology sign? I don't even know. I don't even know. It's not what I meant. I meant scorpion, but... Zodiac? I don't know, man. Astronomy signal? No. I haven't finished my coffee yet. I feel like it's been a different vibe for the cast today, but maybe I'm just feeling different. I don't know. It's been fun, though. Thank you, guys. I think you need coffee. I mean, I think I need some big old army here to see a massive fight. We've seen individual scorpions die. We've seen a cav archer or 2 die. But both players just kind of booming, and if that's the case, that benefits TaToH. because he's got that efficiency and he's on 3 TCs. This town center is a good position for red if he completes it. He did snipe a couple of villagers on the back there with the cav archers. But yeah, TaToH, I mean, let's just assume TaToH wins this series. TaToH's style hasn't quite been as sharp as some of the other elite players in King of the Desert. And winner here would be up against Sebastian. So the thing about TaToH, though, is like he's very adaptable. And so his tendency to make others make mistakes with some of his random chaos can pay off. Also think he picks his civs according to his style. So like Romans is perfect for his style because he loves to like make a bunch of extra scorpions because he might lose a couple. Go the 4 TCs. Celts, for example, in the previous game, like messiness with forwards. So TaToH does a great job at picking the civs for his strengths. And TaToH is maybe the player that goes all in Castle Age the most of all the big names. Most other names are going to try and get up to the Imperial Age, play around the imp timing. TaToH's like, nope, I'm going to go 3, 4 stables, 5 stables, lots of military. I mean, look how much cav he has. Here he comes. Scorpions are exposed. The Scorpions will go down very quickly against that many cav archers, but he is getting ballistics, and he does have another group on the front. And he's pressuring red right now. We'll snipe the monk. So denies that relic. Also just delays that gold income for a minute. And he does have TCs pretty much everywhere, so it's tough for these cav archers. Guys, this town center earlier being behind the wood line was intentional from TaToH. Red almost runs through there. But yeah, that was with a purpose, because if you place it on this side, the cav archers can be getting value. How do you engage against the Scorpions and the light cav right now if you're red? 4 Scorpions with ballistics now is tough. The answer is Knights. So he's making some Knights behind this. He's going to bring his army home right now. With TaToH getting +2 armor for his cav, but he only has 2 Knights. Army of light cav isn't that strong. So if the Scorpions aren't there, this fight isn't even close. Red still doesn't have ballistics for the cav archers. That's worth noting. He's missing some volleys here. I think TaToH's sensing that there's about to be something here. Red coming all the way home and then not immediately trying to wall this up tells him that something's coming. And there are the Knights. No armor upgrades, but I think the Knights could definitely make a difference here. We'll see how the micro goes. The Knights should be able to take care of those Scorpions pretty quickly. They do. And TaToH knows that army's dead, so he's going to dive in with his light cav. TaToH just wants a minute where he can boom at home uncontested and make more army, and Red's going to have to chase him here. This is probably a good decision from TaToH. I think if it was Knights, I would disagree with it. But with light cav, that's fine. I mean, light cav, it only costs food anyways. These are leftover scouts from Feudal. Split them up. Make it tough for Red to kill it off. Look at the worker efficiency last minute stat at the bottom left right now. This is what TaToH gains. He's got full efficiency at home. And then Red's got lots of inefficient eco. I can't help but feel like he could have done a better job dealing with this. Like, still has idols inside the church. Like, he's really not playing as sharp as I would have hoped for. I mean, he's still got idols inside the church right now. What are they worshiping in there? I mean, that's pretty lame. Now TaToH's got 11 Scorpions behind this. He'll have 10 Knights. And remember, he's got ballistics, and he's going to drop TC number 5 now on this gold. This is that full Castle Age play from TaToH. There's still Knights from I Buy Power, though. So if he just loses all the Scorpions right now, this could be quite the snowball. Doesn't feel like he's going to lose all of them, because his own Knights are there, and their Scorpions are still doing damage against the Knights with no armor. And TaToH holds the hill. That feels really important. If Red wins that fight, he drops a castle on this hill, secures the whole middle area. He doesn't win the fight, so he has to place the castle back here now. Red's actually going to move forward, which I don't think TaToH is expecting, but he will be able to react to this almost immediately. Scorpions are slow, though. Nice job from Red to try and use mobility here. But I don't think he knew exactly where he was what he was running into. He sees it now. The siege workshops are up. Scorpions are still going to move forward from TaToH. TaToH's housed, but he's housed at 150 pop. He's got a massive army of scorpions. Holy. And actually, if he builds a castle and gets ballistas in Castle Age, it's probably worth it here, right? And TaToH will drop a castle mainly for defense, but like, if you're full Castle Age with this many scorpions, I think delaying Imp to get ballistas is worth it. You're not spending food on it. He'll have access to the other res. Roman scorpions are ridiculous, man. And Roman economy is ridiculous. And Red knows he's behind. He's going to go underneath the TC. Now, I respect this energy because you're the underdog and you know this game is not trending your direction. Will it be enough damage to justify losing your whole army here? Because the Scorpions are coming back. He'll kill Vils. He might gain the Vil lead for now, but like the Cav Archers, though. I mean, that's good micro. It's really good micro. The Scorpions are all clumped up back here. They're not getting their volleys off. TaToH probably thought this army would be dead. But TaToH's now just rushing into this side with the Scorpions and the Knights. He also had a Knight over here that got a couple kills. A Knight here that got a couple kills. And the Cav Archers actually made it out. That's well played from Red. TaToH just patrolled those Scorpions expecting Red to have all those units get cleared. But guys, look at the worker efficiency again. And now look at just the res collected. TaToH 6,000 resources collected ahead now. It will click up to Imp. He's got 23 Scorps around the map. This is a crazy strong position for TaToH. He also has 5 relics. Red's going to switch out of Cav Archers now into Manaspa. And Manaspa should do a better job at clearing Scorpions if they get close. They do have less HP than Knights, but they do mass pretty fast out of those castles. So he'll take the engagement. He'll clear many of the Scorps. Still, though, just doesn't feel like that's going to be a good enough fight for him to be happy. TaToH still takes a decent engagement there because his Cav upgrades are ahead. I don't think Red ever noticed all of this. And TaToH's just walking to the hill to build a castle here. TaToH's just beasting right now. And he'll stick with the same comp. He has the better economy. And he'll just have better technology in the Imperial Age, too. Yeah, the timing on things for Red, just not exactly what he needed it to be, right? He didn't have ballistics for any of his Cav Archer engagements. I don't think missing armor on the Cav is that big of a deal. Like, obviously, just like the first armor upgrade would have been nice, but ballistics is really the biggest thing. But he's under pressure here, and you have to work so much harder. You have to go beyond your ability, it feels like, when you play a player like TaToH. And you just miss things. Obviously, if he had someone in his ear saying, get ballistics, bro, he might do it, but he hasn't realized he doesn't have it. And oh, God. Is Cav Archer's Manaspa run right into another group from TaToH. TaToH has no surprises here. TaToH's got outposts around the map. TaToH has vision everywhere. TaToH knows when armies are going to be coming in. It will be 4 castles for Red. Full Manaspa span. Is on the way to the Imperial Age, but I don't know how long he'll have 4 castles. Because TaToH will have Trebs from the hill onto these castles immediately. And if TaToH gets, I don't know how to say this tech, and we rarely see it, but if he gets, Comatenses? Comatenses. If he gets this tech, it's expensive. It's crazy, but it does add a charge attack to your Cavalier, so they might actually be able to beat Manaspa with that. Yeah, thank you guys for telling me how to pronounce it while typing. That's really helpful. Really helpful. But yeah, I don't think TaToH will get it. I think he'd be more inclined to get Heavy Scorpion because he has this big ball of Scorpions. Oh, there it is. All right, he's committing to tenses. Red only has one area that he can be aggressive in right now, and he's found it. If he goes this way, there's an army and there's a castle. If he goes this way, though, TaToH is exposed. So here he goes. Finally getting a few more upgrades for his Cav. Manaspa are dangerous when they're on the move like this. TaToH's still just keeping those Scorpions on a patrol, protecting the Trebs. And TaToH will send his Cavalier home to deal with the Manaspa. Yeah, 140 HP against 90 HP. And then you have that charge attack, which was +6 on the initial attack. So the Cavalier are stronger here. Against Elite Manaspa, it's a little bit different. And Elite Manaspa is on the way. But TaToH's got 40 seconds to fight this back. He should still be fine. He's already taken down one castle here. T90, if red is playing Manaspa, why is blue not going Halbs? Because Cavalier can match the Manaspa, and they're faster. And they also have more damage to get lots of kills in the eco. And because you can go Halbs later. But if you were to try and switch to Halbs before you maxed out on Cavalier, might be a mistake here. Mobility matters. The way you can use a gold unit like that is important. And oh god, oh no, the Manaspa. The Manaspa. Goodbye. Manaspa get flattened. That was before Heavy Scorpion came in, but that was with the faster firing bonus. That was with chemistry. That was also with siege engineers. That ball of Scorpion's insanely strong. So well played from TaToH too. The Scorpions can't move much, so just protect the Trebs. And then let the Cav do everything else. Oh, because TaToH... Does he have a trap here? Does he have a trap here? Oh my god! And now the Scorpions come in! Oh! That was amazing from TaToH! Let's go! That was so sick! He let him run into that little opening, waited for him, built the gate and built the house, and flattened the army. Oh, man. That was picturesque, man. And then the GG's called afterwards. Red also dropped the dot, too. Was that like him dropping the ... Like, come on. Don't do that to me, dude. You're already going to beat me. Oh, that was sick. Well played from TaToH. Must be so fun to be this good. Yeah, TaToH up 2-0. I think Feudal Age was somewhat even. In Castle Age, it felt like TaToH could do no wrong. He just completely outboomed Red, and Red's micro was just not good enough to get the damage done. Cav Archers are a big investment if you go for 3 ranges, and he just was never able to really get a big mass, and then the second he got a big mass, his opponent just had Scorpions and Cav everywhere. It was a ridiculous game from TaToH. He didn't really wall much, right? He walled a little bit in Feudal, but then just TCs everywhere. Scorpions, 6 relics. It was a better performance from Red from the first game, though. It shows you why he is at this level. But just not nearly as sharp as TaToH right now. TaToH up 2-0. Feels like a sweep could be incoming here. But that was fun way to finish that off. It's got to be frustrating, though, to have that happen to you if you're Red. It's like you get into the game. You're like, okay, if I can get to Elite Manaspa, I can dominate. And then your Elite Manaspa just get melted like that. Like, what? All right. Welcome. We got game number 3. TaToH's looked very good so far. They are very close. They are very close to each other. And a fun generation here for aggression because you've got all these little hills right between the player bases with all these stones and golds. Now look at TaToH's position. TaToH's gold, forward on a hill. Stone, forward on a hill. Gold, hill. Gold, hill. Everything, except for maybe a woodline or 2 in the berries, somewhat forward for TaToH. Similar for Red, but I mean, there is stone in the back. There is also gold in the back. Woodlines in the back as well. So it's definitely a slightly better map for Red. I wonder what his plan is with the Koreans here. Koreans, I think the normal play here would actually be Spear Skirm forward. But it's a tough matchup for me because when you want to go Spear Skirm forward, you don't want to be up against a very solid man-at-arms civ. And the Slavs could be really good with that. And I think that should be the #1 opening for TaToH here, if he's thinking about the matchup the same way I am. These Slavs also love their scouts, and going for a scout build is best for their fast farms, just because those builds play into more farms, but I would be scared about spears and skirms, and I would go for man-at-arms, personally. When TaToH's shown that he likes to do that. First game, he went for some infantry, but Slavs are a little bit different than Celts. So, Made Fan, thanks for the 2 years, man. Sem's also almost at 4 years. Thank you, Sem. Booyan, thank you. What is that, 5 years for you now, Semp? Thank you. I'm now having to do math because I said years, and now I'm trying to get this right. Elliot, thanks for 63 months, my friend. Welcome back. Yeah, towers isn't necessarily the initial strategy for Koreans, but obviously if you get some towers down, can be very strong with guard tower later on. But I think the big part of the build is you take the map control with spears and skirms first. They're really cheap. This is maybe what he wanted to do with Byzantines, by the way. The more I think about it, the more I look at his draft and think that he really wanted to place forwarding today. Spear skirm forward, but then game 1, he was up against Celts, and he thought, I can't do that build because I'm up against a man-at-arms civ. And we have a similar situation here. So, yeah, it's one of those things I'll probably ask Mr. Yo later. Just because I'm always curious on player logic. Yo did do some training games and talk through with Bravebear on how to manage things. So, at least to my knowledge. The only reason I know that they were trained together was because they were in a lobby together. Playing Arabia. So I assumed it was some training. At least it was one game or something. So, TaToH's with 3 on wood right now. He's going for the mill, so I think my prediction was incorrect on his builds. I don't think this will be man-at-arms. As for this side, I think it is exactly what I said. He has to find TaToH for this to work, though. And so he's scouting right now. Yeah, he'll see the golds. Seeing the gold and the stone on the front is great. You really want to find the berries, though. That's the best thing to do initial damage to, the berries or the woodline. And both of those are rather safe for TaToH on the back. Yeah, he knows TaToH's base is around here because the carpet gives you some type of a heads up. And I would expect the Vills to be coming forward, and here we go. So I've said some pretty stupid things today, but able to predict this one spot on. Again, I think this is what he wanted to do with Byzantines. But against Celts, it was dangerous. TaToH's scout on the front actually just missed the villagers. So he doesn't know those villagers are out there. But I think to a certain extent, one should expect this from Koreans. Koreans an underdog? I'm thinking spears and skirms every single time. And TaToH, oh, is he going late man-at-arms right now? This is funny. So I think it's crossed his mind. He wants to add militia now. And the barracks is right here, dude. Wait, why is TaToH sending villagers forward now? Is he gonna... No, TaToH wants to go forward. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is gonna be great. They are both forwarding the other. Neither player knows what's happening. This is hilarious. Okay. Well, one of the best ways to counter a forward is to counterattack them. But, like, that's not why TaToH's doing it. TaToH has no clue. TaToH has no clue. Barracks and the archer range is right there. Now, Koreans have more line of sight on their vills. So if TaToH tries to build a tower here or do anything, maybe this will be spotted. Which is kind of a big deal. TaToH's still unaware. We'll go to Red's point of view. See, Red can see the vills. And Red also walled up here. So it feels like he's in a better position to defend this. Yeah, he can counter tower this now if he reacts right away. But he has to react right away. If you wait too long, this can get really bad because TaToH will have man-at-arms on the other side. Oh man, he waited too long. TaToH's already here. TaToH's getting some crazy blocks here. TaToH will kill a Vil. Red needs to... Oh, Red's building a tower here to deny TaToH's gold. So that's why he didn't defensive tower, and now he's on TaToH, but he doesn't have man-at-arms, so he won't kill as quickly. Okay, tower is up. But we have a base trade right now. Also, arson is free for Slav infantry, so you melt through the buildings very quickly with no additional investment. And here comes Red now. He's going to rush. TaToH has no defense right now. So Red's going to rush with the trash. But this stuff does, like, trickle damage. Or I guess you could even say, like, tickle damage. They barely do any damage to the man-at-arms and the Vils. But over time, because you have so many of them, they will kill everything. Red not having a wood line right now really hurts, though. TaToH's actually just going to take this gold so he can make gold for more man-at-arms, maybe. Still no archer range for TaToH, so no skirms to match the numbers at all. It's going to be a pure infantry game for TaToH. The key for TaToH is getting farms down. And then he can abandon the berries. So he's not going to lose these villagers that quickly. Red's still repairing. Red could so easily lose villagers over here. He's still holding somehow. And TaToH's still somehow holding in a really awkward scenario. Red needs wood. Red is saving for another lumber camp, probably on another wood line. Is no defense. Except for repairs right now. But TaToH's villagers are getting really weak. I love it when this happens. It is so rare you have like a double forward scenario. This is super fun. So you just... On both sides, players have to damage control at their own base. And try and do damage to the other, right? It's really a test of just damage control. And a lot of that... in red scenario is patience, because if you get to enough skirms, the man-at-arms die so fast. But right now, the man-at-arms could get some value. So you need to wait till you get to like 15 skirms. Neither player's on stone. Red tries to save these vills, and red should save the vills. But TaToH will have to look for another wood line. And yeah, again, the micro has to be good here. Not so easy. TaToH's still making man-at-arms. So red needs... perfect micro, but patient micro with these skirmishers. And eventually, if you've committed to man-at-arms, you can't do anything else. You can't go scouts. It gets too late because they can make spears. There's just so much to take in here. But now TaToH's looking for the other wood line. He'll find it. TaToH's losing his man-at-arms. But now he's on the wood line with man-at-arms and his own villagers. So both players are attacking and defending with villagers right now. Red's just going to fight this back. Red's underneath TaToH's TC because he's distracted there. Okay, he fixes that. Importantly, TaToH's actually on a stone right now. And TaToH's killing more vills. TaToH's killing so many more vills. The multitasking is so much better. He's killed 6 villagers now. Great job from TaToH. He's just been able to hold on enough and maybe buy himself time for a tower, and then he can chill. Then he can, chill compared to what he's been experiencing. None of this is chill. You see what I mean, though? Like, the man-at-arm defense is not actually good enough at this stage. But red didn't full wall in this tower. He only walled some of the corners. That tower is now being attacked. TaToH's now building a defensive tower on the wood line to defend the wood line so the push can't do more damage. TaToH is attacking here to get even more kills, and his micro continues to be stellar. 7 villager kills with that attack now. And he's got villagers over here already to probably tower that wood line from the other side. The defensive tower is killer. Now red might just not be able to do anything. TaToH doesn't need to bury... Huh! That's what he has to do for food, dude. He's taken his opponent's berries. Yikes. Yeah, TaToH's played so well here. It's just funny because TaToH had no clue. He had no clue he was getting forwarded when he decided to forward. But in the end, it was like the best counter to it. And now he doesn't need to defend because he can build defensive towers. And now he's going to send forward more men-at-arms. Yeah, this game is over. But you see what I mean about the matchup? It's actually a good matchup against the Korean forward because you get the free infantry upgrades against the trash builds. If you were like Franks or something, not that he picked Franks, but there's Jurchen, some of these other civs, they don't usually go for man-at-arms. It's a really good civ against this. I also felt Romans were really nice against Georgians, but then again, I don't think I'll disagree too heavily with anything TaToH does, so it could be player bias. It's only free arson, though, and some pop space. Well, yeah, but free arson has been huge here, because he's broken through the buildings. And the pop space is also huge in the really tight builds. But yeah, GG, well played to TaToH. TaToH wins 3-0. This was expected. And Red... Red was probably aware of TaToH's strength here. I at least respect the fact that Red tried to really up the intensity in the final game. But TaToH did a great job with the forward, and he did a better job defending. The key moments for me was TaToH towering the wood line when red had towered the gold. That gold was not as needed as red needed wood, right? TaToH was able, he only needed 2 vills on gold, so he was just able to go to gold here, no problem. And then red had big wood problems. And then the other aspect for me was that TaToH got the stone so he could build more towers. That was never an opportunity for red. But that was never an opportunity for red because TaToH was all over his base. And he didn't have wood for the mining camp, so. But yeah, well played. TaToH wins. TaToH will be up against Sebastian next. I'm really interested to see how that goes. Because, like, TaToH's playing well. TaToH has swept. But TaToH and Sebastian are very different styles. Sebastian is very meta, and TaToH is kind of off meta with how he plays. It should be a really fun series to watch. Over their careers, TaToH has accomplished a lot more, but Sebastian has had a crazy 2 to 3 years. He's younger, he's motivated, and he looks like he's playing some of the best Arabia out there right now. So definitely keep an eye out for that one.